The ratings are in for the Fever Brazil game, and surprise, surprise, they're impressive. As we all know, the Fever Brazil game was quite a spectacle. Caitlin Clark launching her 36-foot bomb from her logo. The Fever in general just started looking like a well-oiled machine. And credit to the Brazilian national team, they just went hard. So ESPN posted this today. It's from Flora Kelly. She says, LeBron and Clark. The Brazil Fever game came in at 1.3 million. It was actually 1.34 for those of you who want to know a more meticulous number. She continues on to say, wonderful for a preseason game. Only 2 of ESPN's 57 NBA preseason games since 2010 drew a higher audience. Both featured LeBron. 2010 Cavs Bulls, and that's the year after the Cavs lost in the finals to the Bulls, so of course people are going to be watching that. And the second one was a 2018 Warriors-Lakers game after LeBron went to LA, so his first time in LA. Totally LeBron-centric. And now we are totally Caitlin Clark-centric, so she's in pretty good company. And don't be fooled, like preseason games generally aren't like a big thing in most seasons, but I don't know, this is like the Showtime Fever. Like this is crazy stuff. I mean, even in the first preseason game that Caitlin Clark was out in, the Indiana Fever and the Mystics, like the Mystics went hard. The Brazilian national team, they went hard. But listen, the Brazilian national team were missing 2 of their best players, and Damiris Dantas, hope she's doing okay, and Camila Cardoso. I think they went into this just knowing that this is just going to be an amazing experience. They're going to be playing against an amazing team. They're going to be playing against like this international global women's basketball star. And they really looked like they had fun doing it. I mean, they went hard. They like really played good defense for, you know, their ages and stuff. Like some of them are just going to be entering college. I believe like one of them might be going, I don't know if it's to South Carolina, but she is going to be going to a college out here in America. But this still gave us a glimpse of what the difference of the Indiana Fever are like with Caitlin Clark and without Caitlin Clark. But with all the hype around the Indiana Fever this season, their complete roster overhaul, and all this, everybody talking about them, they have like a big target on their back. So these preseason games, like they didn't really feel like preseason games. Like the Mystics, they went hard. They played like bully ball, which is not necessarily that they were bullies, but they were definitely some plays that should not have exactly happened. I think Kiki Uriafin got her welcome to the league talking to from Sophie Cunningham. And, you know, that play was just too hard. Not what you want to be seeing in the WNBA. Like, people can get injured. And then a little while later, the Brittany Sykes play wasn't very cool at all either. Could have totally injured, like, DeWanna Bonner if Sophie Cunningham, like, fell into her legs. But luckily, we have enforcers on this team now. And DeWanna Bonner let Brittany Sykes know what was up and was like, do not do that. Not cool. But let's get back to the positives of the viewership. The 1.34 million people that tuned in to the Indiana Fever preseason, before the season even started, to play against an international team. I mean, the WNBA hadn't even cracked like 1 million viewers for like over 15 years until Caitlin Clark came to the league. I mean, this preseason game had more viewers than the last game of the finals of the last, WNBA finals last season. Like, it's kind of a little crazy, like the motion that this girl has. And I think we can pretty much expect that over 1 million viewers will be every single one of her games, like at least like baseline for the rest of the season. And to think that we have people actually arguing the fact that the Indiana Fever have 40 nationally televised games for the season, like honestly, it should have been all 44. Because then all 44 games would also spotlight the other teams involved in playing them and would get more recognition. I've never understood the argument against nationally televising this team when everybody eats when they do. The fact is that I think that the Fever have brought a lot of new fans to other teams and like to other players. And if that is one of you, definitely let me know in the comments. I would love to know if like you became a new Nafisa Collier fan or a new like Courtney Williams fan, or who else is not on the links that I can name actually. I mean, you get the idea. It's honestly just an amazing thing for women's sports, and it raises everybody up. You know, before the boom of the WNBA last season, like the average viewership was from 300,000 to 500,000 a game. And like some of the teams are still getting that. And 500,000 is still like a pretty decent number, but like it's only going to grow. And we are just at the beginning. We're just at the precipice of like this explosion and this like phenomenon around women's basketball. And yes, while it is definitely centered around Caitlin Clark and her team being the Indiana Fever, I can't say enough that I personally know many people who have become fans of other teams, especially people who have WNBA teams like in their areas, like Dallas, Atlanta, the DC area, and on and so forth. Now, I like to focus on the positives of most things in the WNBA without like forgetting that the WNBA does consist of other players. And so like my point isn't to diminish the WNBA as a whole. It's more to just like be so excited for this momentum and this like needle that is actually like changing the game. I mean, she was just at the Met Gala. There were so many WNBA players at the Met Gala. Like how many times have WNBA players like even attended the Met Gala? I mean, Angel Reese was there. Sabrina Ionescu was there. Breanna Stewart was there. To be fair, Angel Reese did attend the Met Gala last year. And you know, in like non-game, non-court fashions, like, you know, Angel being there and like really taking the fashion part of it seriously, like that's kind of her area and that's kind of her arena. She's like really good with like the branding and the off-court like social stuff, and this is really good stuff. This is the other stuff that elevates the WNBA. Sabrina Ionescu and Breanna Stewart, they aren't necessarily the most like fashiony. I mean, Breanna has like some pretty cool fashion, but you know, I don't think that that's like Sabrina's bread and butter of her brand, but she was there and she looked cool. But it's like, would they even be there if the WNBA hadn't gotten so big? I mean, it's a possibility. Don't discount it. But it's like the WNBA is what so many people are talking about, and it is just growing. But if you don't think that beating out every WNBA preseason game, except for the big LeBron James like preseason games, isn't a big deal, you're kidding yourself. And again, I want to reiterate, since 2010. And here's why. It's like Caitlin Clark has the charisma. She has the personality and she has the star power and she has the statistics and the actual on-court talent to back everything up. She doesn't involve herself in like messy situations. She is a very like family-oriented person, something that a lot of people like strive to be. She's relatable. She really wants to set a good example for the younger generations. And I mean, how can you say anything bad about that? And when you are that good on the court, the sky is like pretty much the limit. I mean, the Brazilian national team, they were their opponents. And we have one of the players from the Brazilian national team posting to her TikTok just the funniest stuff because she was the one that was guarding Cece when she hailed that like logo bomb. Caitlin posted that picture onto her Instagram and then she responds with like, hey, you could have at least tagged me. No shame being involved in the person that got smoked in that play either. And then she makes the funniest TikTok.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
And you know, you can arguably say that she is like the face of basketball right now, at least like for the younger generation, because like who is the face of basketball? If you're not talking about LeBron James or Steph Curry, you could, you know, say that Anthony Edwards is in that conversation, but I mean, and because he's like charismatic, he's kind of funny. He jokes around with the crowds and stuff, but like off court, he makes some pretty questionable decisions, if you know what I'm talking about. And you know, there's Cooper Flag coming in, but like he still has to prove that he can like hang in the NBA, not WNBA, in the NBA. And you know what? He probably can. But is he generational? Is he that much different than the best players in the NBA? Like that is yet to be seen. And I'm telling you, if the Fever go to the finals, like there isn't a doubt in my mind that those numbers could potentially exceed 10 million viewers. And you know, it's not just the viewership numbers that show this. It's like ticket sales, like the Carver Hawkeye Arena is sold out in like 42 minutes. The average ticket prices we're reselling for $600. This is like crazy stuff, which makes me just so curious about what Nike is doing. Like, do they have some like secret plan to like not promote her until her shoe launch? Because You know, I get that Asia Wilson's shoe did just drop and they did sell out. And I'm happy for Asia. Like I'm not gonna, say my opinions about her as a person, but I don't want to diminish the release at all. But what I am just kind of curious about is why is Nike so subdued on posting anything or promoting much around like these big moments around Caitlin Clark? Because like that logo bomb, that 36-footer, like that is not something that most men can do in the NBA on a consistent basis. She just decided, hey, I'm just gonna go take this shot on a whim, and she made it. And Nike only releasing that really like intern looking designed Nike Rookie of the Year shirt last season was almost like insulting. And the fact that Connor McCaffrey, her boyfriend, reposted a post from Twitter asking like, hey Nike, do you have internet or what? That just shows like what his mindset is. And I am not going to assume that Caitlin is of the same mindset because they are totally different people, but that the people that are around her that love her, they're kind of wondering the same thing. And there are rumors that the Nike contract is getting renegotiated because it's an 8-year deal for $28 million, the steal of the century for Nike, considering the motion that Caitlin Clark has. But these are just rumors. I have yet to validate anything. Anyway, just wanted to come on here, drop a quick note, celebrate the ratings. I will be watching the Lynx game later this evening. I don't know if you guys want me to talk about it or not, because I know this is an Indiana Fever-centric channel. Drop what you think in the comments. And please remember to like or to subscribe. It helps so much, and I will see you next time.